Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Season and Serve blog. My name is Melissa and today I am making a budget-friendly and romantic recipe to serve this Valentine's Day. My Calabrian Chili Rosé Pasta is creamy and dreamy and gets a little bit of a spicy kick from Calabrian chili pepper paste. This recipe is very simple and flavorful, and as a bonus it comes together in only 30 minutes. So cue the romance and I'll show you how to make this easy Calabrian Chili Rosé Pasta right at home. To begin this recipe, we'll start by chopping our ingredients, and the first thing I'm preparing is my yellow onion. You only need half a yellow onion for this recipe, so I'm just going to cut off the ends and remove the skin. Then I'm going to slice it into small pieces by cutting it vertically all the way through the onion and then horizontally. This gives you really tiny pieces of onion, which is perfect for this recipe because you want it to combine well with the sauce. Once the onion's prepared, we'll set that aside and then we'll chop up our garlic. And in this recipe, I'm using 3 big cloves of garlic because I love the garlic flavor, but you can add as much or as little as you want. And to prepare the garlic, I'll remove the skins and then chop it up into fine pieces about the same size as the onion. That's all the chopping we have to do for this recipe, but before we get to making it, I want to talk about the Calabrian chili pepper paste that I'm using. This is made with crushed Italian Calabrian chili peppers and is also mixed with olive oil and salt. The peppers are fairly spicy, but this paste is so good and I use it almost as a condiment. There are lots of different brands out there, but my favorite is this Tutto Calabria one. It is always really good, fairly spicy, and you can get this in any Italian grocery store. Another Italian ingredient that I'm using is pasta, and I chose a radiatore pasta because it has lots of grooves and ridges to help hold this spicy rosé sauce. If you can find this type of pasta, I really suggest using it, but you can also use pasta that has ridges and coils like fusilli, penne rigate, anything like that that'll hold a lot of pasta sauce. Now that all our ingredients are prepared, we can begin cooking, and I'll start off by boiling the water for my pasta. I'm just putting this over high heat and adding salt, and while it's coming up to a boil, we'll start making our sauce. To make the sauce, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan, and then I'm adding in my onions, and I'll cook these for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're soft and a little bit golden brown on the edges. And while the onion is cooking, I'll also season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and this will help season the rest of the sauce as well. Now once the onion is soft, I'm adding the garlic to the pan, and I'm just going to cook this for 30 seconds or until the garlic is nice and fragrant. And then after 30 seconds, I'm going to add the Calabrian chili pepper paste and then cook that for another 30 seconds as well. Once everything is smelling nice and fragrant and a little bit spicy, we're going to add passata sauce. This is just a simple pureed tomato sauce, and you can find this in a lot of grocery stores these days. Passata is the perfect ingredient to use here because we do want to end up with a nice smooth sauce for this recipe. Now at this point the water should be boiling, so we're going to add our pasta and then we're going to cook it until it's al dente, so it has a little bit of bite in it. And for this particular pasta that took about 7 minutes, but just refer to whatever is on the package of pasta that you're cooking. Next we're going to go back to our sauce and add a bit of sugar to it. This will help balance out any acidity that the tomatoes might have and make the sauce really delicious. We're also going to add some flavor by adding a basil stem. This is a really great way to impart a lot of basil flavor into the sauce without adding the leaves, which will eventually turn brown and black when they're cooked, which is not what we want for Valentine's Day. After 7 minutes, the pasta will be perfectly al dente, so I'm removing it from the pot and adding it directly into the pasta sauce. This is a very true and authentic way to make pasta, and this allows the pasta to cook a little bit more in the sauce and absorb more flavor. Once the pasta has been added, I'm just going to toss it in the sauce and make sure they are all fully coated. And at this point, this is just simply pasta with a spicy tomato sauce, so to make it a rosé sauce, we're going to add some heavy cream. And I'm adding about half a cup here, but you can add as much or as little cream as you want. And the cream just kind of makes it more decadent and gives it that nice lighter rosé pasta color. Another way to make this pasta a little bit more decadent and creamy is to add a little bit of pasta water. This is about 1/3 cup of pasta water, and this will completely transform the sauce. It'll kind of make it a bit more stable, and look at that. It shimmers, it is so beautiful, and looks amazing. Now at this point, we can remove the pasta from the heat, and then we'll add our finishing touches. First is some grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. If you can, make sure you get the authentic one because it is so much better than that powdered Parmesan cheese that you get in the grocery store. And again, you can add as much or as little Parmesan cheese as you want. The limit really does not exist. And as a final touch, I'm adding some chopped fresh basil leaves. This gives the pasta a nice pop of color and adds a nice layer of freshness. So in just 30 minutes, we made this delicious Calabrian Chili Rosé Pasta. All you have to do now is plate it up, sit down with your loved one, and enjoy this delicious pasta recipe. And that is it for today's video. If you want to get the full recipe for this Calabrian Chili Rosé Pasta, you can find it on my website with the full measurements and directions, and I'll leave that link in the description box below. And if you like this video and want to see more recipe videos like this, make sure you hit that red subscribe button as well. And finally, make sure to follow me on social media at Season Serve Blog for more delicious seasonal recipes, as well as seasonal living tips, including gardening and entertaining at home. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to enjoy the best of the season every day.